any life circumstances. And today, the session is very impromptu. Well, it is impromptu because sometimes life happens, and unfortunately, my dear guest today could not make the show. And that's why you have an extra show with me. And today, I'm very cozy actually on my couch. Well, I'm usually on my couch, right? But it's not news to you right now. But actually, I got myself really cozy, anti blanket. And today, I would like to have with you just a very, very casual chat. Okay. And today, the very, very casual chat actually, it's about the understanding of yourself and others. And the reason why I would like to bring this particular chat today is because so often we unfortunately do face misunderstanding. Unfortunately, we do face situations when things don't work out. And unfortunately, sometimes we are in a position where we cannot understand why certain people behave one way or another. And I think today, the situation which I had with a guest is actually perfect example how sometimes things don't go accordingly to the plan, but it is about your capability and ability to make things work in any case. What do I mean by ability and capability? Well, I must say, something like this we are facing right now during the COVID-19. And almost like the world right now is like in two different parts. Okay, one part they're fine with what happens in the world, and another part they're like, I am not okay with that. Take me back to my normality. I want my normal world. So my question to you is, which part do you belong to? Do you feel like, oh, well, yes, we have these changes. Yes, we are facing some challenges, but actually, I can live with that. Or maybe you're actually one of those who says, you know what? No, take me back. I would like to have a normal life. So please do let me know in the comments because I would love to see how do you feel about what happens in the world. And actually, I will be explaining to you the reasons why you feel a certain way. And I can see more and more people are joining me, which is wonderful. I love seeing your locations. Thank you so much for letting me know where are you joining from, because I love seeing your faces, and I love seeing your locations as well. I'm looking down because I'm just checking for locations and I'm checking for names so I can actually call out if there will be any questions. And by the way, questions today are very welcome. So, how can we understand ourselves and others? Whether you are just like Jirai in India, or maybe you're just like Obi in Coventry, or maybe not here like in Austin, all the way in Australia, it doesn't really matter where you are based, guys, right? I mean, I would love to be where you are right now, but psychologically, it doesn't matter where we are, because psychologically, we are built the way we are, right? And as a result, we behave certain way no matter where in the world we are. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm not sure if you heard about my awesome guru, my favorite man on this planet of Earth, Tony Robbins, or not. But he talks about something what is called six human needs, or some people will know these six human needs as a table of Maslow, right? Depends what you were studying and whether you were learning anything about sociology or psychology at all in your life, right? And basically, we all are behaving in a certain way because of these six human needs or table Maslow of human needs, right? So I will just go and double check if you definitely can see me on LinkedIn. Yes, you definitely can see me. Okay, just making sure things are working, right? So here there are six of them, and I will go through all of them to give you clarity, and I'll give you a couple of examples so you can actually understand. And I will start with the very first one, which actually happened today, which probably will throw out so many people, but it didn't throw me out because that's one of my human needs. So let's start with the beginning. So if you look at the first level of human needs, you have on one side certainty, and you have on the other side uncertainty or variety. Okay, and here I would love to hear actually your feedback, Do you think you're more into certainty, or do you feel you are more into variety? What do I mean by this? So you could be more into certainty if you prefer same holidays, you prefer to go to the same places, you don't really change your car very often, you like to have a plan, you like to know what's going to happen tomorrow, and this is you. You prefer to be aware of every step of your life. Or if you're into variety, that means you are flexible. It means you like to go to different places every time, you like to travel to different locations. Every so often, you'd like to meet different friends, again, doing different activities. So you're full of different things, and this what brings you excitement. Remember, just like we have two arms and two legs, well, majority of us, right? We do have to have both, okay? But one of them will be dominant, right? One of them will be dominant in your life. And as a result, that's why you will be happier or less happy if you don't meet that human need. Okay, so think about it. Which one is yours? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer to have more certainty in life, or do you prefer to have more variety? And I can see also David joined me from York in UK, and my whole come journey from India. As I said, it doesn't matter where you're based because that works all the way around the world. And I can see Washington joined me from Ecuador. Oh my God, this is exciting. I haven't had anybody from Ecuador so far, I think. So thank you so much for joining me, especially for the first time. Oh, and I hope you will enjoy this session, because if it is for the first time, you will not come back if you don't enjoy it. So I hope you will enjoy that. But thank you so much for joining me. So it doesn't really matter where you're based because it really works around the globe. Okay, but now think about yourself. Which one do you prefer more? Is it the certainty or is it the variety? And I'll give you today's example. So what happened today? I received a message that unfortunately my guest, who is 11-year-old, she cannot make the show today, right? And I was really looking forward to it because she's an amazing girl. She's a public speaker. She's also an author. But fortunately, due unforeseen circumstances, she couldn't make it. So if I would be 100% into certainty, how do you think that would affect me? I would start panicking. I probably would have high blood pressure. I probably would be very angry, right? I probably would be very disappointed. I probably would say something very nasty back to her mother, and probably I will just ruin relationships, right? Because that would put me in a very uncomfortable situation, right? But because my human need is variety, I was like, I understand. Oh, well, I will just go live by myself and I'll bring more value to people, right? So, can you see how knowing what is your human need, you'll be more aware of why sometimes you are absolutely okay with some situations and other times you really are not, okay? So, for example, what if I would have the same guest every time at my show? Every time, every time. And I go live 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So imagine, what if I have the same guest 3 times a week every time? How do you think I'm gonna feel? I will be going nuts because that would be way too much, okay? And that's why I know that my need actually is variety. That's my primary need out of both certainty, variety. And of course, I'll be absolutely fine with absolutely any changes. That means I can travel anywhere. That means I can go to any restaurant. That means I can meet with as many different people as I want to. Because get what? Guess what? It fits my variety. So I wonder which one out of two, certainty or variety, is yours. And you know what's interesting? It works every time. It doesn't matter what you do. Hello, Gonzalo from Portugal. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. It doesn't matter what you do for business or for a job. It works every time. So, for example, client of mine, he's doing a really successful business. He loves his business. Everything is great. However, when things don't work out accordingly to his plan, how do you feel? How do you think he feels? He's going crazy because his primary need is certainty. He likes to know when things are going accordingly to the plan, right? And I must say, when you work with high profile clients, right, what happens sometimes they will change their plans last minute because again things happen, right? And they got used to that actually everything is okay. Every time they change something, everything is okay. So for him, he's sometimes going absolutely crazy because sometimes he is let down, but that's how he feels. Do they really want to let him down? No, but this is how he feels, right? So that's why it's really important to know which one out of two, certainty or variety, is your primary need. And then you can build your business around that primary need. You can build your relationships around that primary need. You can build your hobbies around that primary need. But remember, just like with both hands, one is dominant, another one is not. The same way you will have certainty and variety serving you. So for example, I know I probably have around about 70% need for variety, but I still need my certainty. I still need to know when things happen and how they happen, because that gives me that feeling of, yeah, I'm still in charge and I still know what happens. Okay. So it's important to know what is your human need, because that gives you that understanding. Okay, and this is how you can actually understand others and yourself a lot better, because you will know, oh, I see, she keeps changing her plans because her need is variety. I just need to be okay with that, right? And you can even tell yourself this stuff: I am certain about one thing, that you gonna change your plans. Do you get your certainty? You do. Can they change their plans? Of course they can. They're human beings. But at least you will still have that certainty that most likely they will change their plans. And that's the reason why nowadays, during the COVID-19 situation, so many people are okay with not having certainty. Like myself, I'm like, oh, well, we have another lockdown. Well, okay, I guess I will just do more things. I guess I will just work more myself, and I'll come up with new projects and I'll be fine. And then you see some other people who are like, oh my God, again, change, again, something is different, because their human need is certainty. Okay, so as you can see, it is quite easy to understand, it is quite easy to comprehend why sometimes we actually are absolutely fine and other times we are not. I'm just checking if there are any questions or not, and seems like we are still good, which is wonderful. So yes, that is the answer actually. So if you look at now at the second level, first, the first one was certainty and variety, right? And now the second layout or a level of human needs actually is significance or love and connection. Okay, so some people will be more into significance and other people will be more into love and connection. And what's interesting, it doesn't matter what country you're at, it doesn't matter what gender you are, it really doesn't matter, because it works, and it works every time. It literally doesn't matter. It just works. Okay, so what's important to remember here, that actually it is about understanding yourself. Again, back to understanding, right? So if it is significance, your primary human need, in that case, that means you would want actually to feel proud of yourself. You would want to make sure that you are an achiever. You would want to make sure that you are recognized. You would want to make sure that you are noticeable, right? And for that reason, for example, very often people face challenges at work. So, for example, if your human need is significance, but at work you are never, never, never recognized, that means unfortunately you will be affected, right? That will make you deeply unhappy, because you want to be recognized. You want other people to tell you, oh my God, you're so amazing, you've done so well, you are super duper, you are the best in our organization, you are the best in our department, we love you so much, we appreciate you so much, right? And if you don't get that praise, whether it is your partner, your work, your parent, or your sibling, or anybody else, you just feel like, oh my God, not happy. You feel not satisfied. You feel empty. You feel like you don't have a drive to continue doing what you are doing, right? But let's say if your human need is love and connection, this is when it's all about others. This is when you want to make sure the entire world is happy and everybody feels loved and everybody feels connected and everybody is looked after. This is when you're running around and looking after everybody because you want to make sure everybody feels so good, right? So here it's important to know, what is your human need? Is it more significance or love and connection? What was interesting, when my client, she wanted to step out of her business. She really wanted to. You know, one of those when you really want to step out of the business, but something is still holding you, and she wasn't sure. She was like, Olga, I have people, but I still keep coming back to my clients. I still keep doing what I do, and I want to break the pattern. I want to be a businesswoman, means I can travel, means I can be free, means I can do whatever I want, but I still come back to my clients and I don't know why. I was simply went through her human needs, even though I knew the answer. But as a coach, I don't give the answer. I want to make sure she understands herself, her own human need, right? So I was guiding the conversation and I opened up in front of her all human needs and I told her about love and connection. She's like, oh, that's exactly what I love getting from my clients. That is exactly what I get from them, because they love me so much, because they appreciate me so much, because they tell me how great they feel after I work with them. That's why I cannot step out of my business. And that was such a great revelation for her, right? So imagine, how would you feel if you would find out that your human need is either significance or love and connection? Let me just tell you one thing. There's nothing wrong with any of these, okay? It doesn't make you better or worse person if your human need is significance or love and connection. It doesn't make you any more any more, desired person if you have one human need or another. It just gives you clarity. And I'll give you my personal example as well. My human need in terms of significance or love and connection was always into significance, right? And as a result, I was going through modeling, I was going through acting, thinking this is the how I will receive my recognition. This is how I will be recognized. This is how I'll be able, to make an impact, without realizing that will never fulfill me, right? Because again, you need to have a bit of a both, one more than another, but you need to have a nice balance, right? So even though that was giving me significance, it was never giving me any love and connection. So only through coaching journey I realized I still feel significant. I feel great when my clients are making transformation. And here, I'm completely transparent with you, right? Because I want you to be aware that there is nothing wrong with you being more into significance or you being more into love and connection. So when I went into the coaching, this is exactly when I understood that I still feel like an achiever. I still feel like I'm accomplishing something every time when we do the transformation for my client. However, I also tap into my love and connection, because I got to be connected with my clients. And I cannot tell you how many friendships, how many beautiful collaborations we have with my clients as a result of us working together, because we really, really connect, right? So that's why it's important to know which one is yours. Is it significance or is it more love and connection? Because one or another will almost like guide you more towards one thing in life or another. Okay, so let's remember that. And then the third one is growth or contribution. Okay, what I mean by growth, growth is when you like to learn, you like to grow, you like to understand more, you like to be aware more, and you constantly like to challenge yourself to learn new things. On contribution is when you actually, it's all about other people, it's about helping them, helping the planet, helping the charities, giving up your time, volunteering, and everything else, right? And what's interesting, again, you need one of each, but you will have percentage wise somewhere more than somewhere else. Okay, so I wonder, what is your human need? Do you prefer to learn more or do you prefer to contribute more? And you will find that you still need a bit of both. just like a hand. One is dominant, in my case it's right hand, another one is less dominant, okay? So non-dominant, sorry. So here it's about understanding yourself and knowing what you aim to. For example, I cannot imagine any coach or any person who delivers value to others not studying and not improving themselves all the time, right? So my human needs of being into variety, being into the significance, and being into the growth fits perfectly well, right, into the coaching industry, because it means I can see different clients, right? I can see different cases, and I can feel great about making the difference, and I constantly learn so I can help more people in a better ways and also with more efficient ways, right? So but imagine if, let's say, my need would be, let's say, certainty. That means I would only work with one type of clients. Let's say maybe I would choose to be a confidence coach, and only what I would do would be just confidence coaching, right? And then let's say if my need would be love and connection, right? So that means I wouldn't really bother about how quickly and how significant changes my clients do. All I would care about is our connection with my clients. But unfortunately, that wouldn't lead to that big transformation because I wouldn't be driven by the result, right? Significance, it's about achieving results. Love and connection is as long as you're connected, you feel great. But that's not exactly what some of the clients will need, okay? And imagine if my human need would be not the growth, but let's say contribution. That means I would not bother about learning. I would think I'm excellent coach already, what I do is already amazing, and I can help anyone in the world, which cannot be achieved, right, if you don't learn all the time. So that means my knowledge probably would be lacking, and also I'll be more probably donating of my free time. That means my family quality of life will be suffering, and there will be so many other complications, right? But for the same reasons why so many other people right now during the second lockdown in the entire world right now are either okay or not okay, because one part are into variety and they're like, that's another change, that's fine, I just will use the time wisely. And other half, they are pulling out their heads thinking, no, 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 take me back to my normal. And we people of variety, we're like, what normal? This is new normal. This is the new normal, right? So next time you see somebody's posting like, ooh, I want my back to normal, you know they're into the certainty, right? And that's why also so many people right now, they either went into learning because their human needs is growth, or into contribution, and now they set up lots of different meetings and stuff and things are happening as long as they can help others, right? And the same, of course, with significance and love and connection, right? They either right now step up and they do more, so they're more recognized, or they actually make sure, again, community are doing great all together. They connect people, they mooch around, they're even better networkers than ever. Again, let's remember, there is nothing wrong with you having one need or another. You will always have one of each. You will always have one of each, right? One of them, one of three will be super dominant. Second one will be secondary. And third one will be also, which is important, okay? But you will always, always, always have one of each, okay? But remember, one would be super dominant. And the truth is, yes, they can change, right? They really can. Because as you go through your life, you change. The more you work on yourself, the more changes you'll experience. And of course, that means your human needs will also change. So let's not be afraid of that. Let's actually embrace that. So that's it for today. That was for you about how to understand yourself and others. That comes from our human needs. Once you know what it's all about, then you can understand why other people are behaving one way or another. The easiest way to practice is to first of all recognize yourself. The second of all, think about all your friends, including your family members and partners, and then start practicing with other people at work, when you watch a movie, when you watch news, when you listen to something and somebody, do your best to really recognize what words they're using and what situations they're bringing up, how they're behaving, in order to understand what is their human need. Because once you know what is their human need, oh my God, that opens all doors for you, because now you can connect with these people a lot quicker and better. So I hope that will serve you. Would love to hear which ones are yours human needs, and are you that easily able to understand which one is yours. If you have a trouble, do contact me. I'm more than happy to help. But remember, knowing what is your human need will actually serve you upwards and onwards forever and ever. So thank you so much for watching me today. It was a pleasure to have you on board from around the globe as always. You take care, and I'll see